What's up with y'all, man? Just want to do a quick little video. I've been, I actually said I was gonna do this video a while ago. I just never got around to it. But yeah, I just wanted to give y'all. It's a lot of different things I learned in my first year having my trucking authority, but I guess I want to give you just a few. I say about just narrow it down to like three. I say one of the three main things that I learned while having my authority and something that you need to consider and know before you get yours. So I would say the first one would be that the insurance is going to make or break you. The insurance is going to make or break you. And a lot of things that plays in the part that people don't even know about the insurance is where you live, where you live / where you saying that you park the truck at. Like where the state that your truck and authority is going to be based out of. It plays a lot of part in the pricing. So I'm in the DMV area. So this area known for a lot of accidents and stuff like that. And it's a higher cost of living over here, so insurance is taxing me over here. So I'm definitely going to make adjustments to that when I open my authority back up. So that's one. And I would say, yeah, you definitely want to make sure you get as low as possible because, like I said, that insurance is going to make or break you. You paying high insurance, it's going to be hard to stay in business. And the second one would be, this is something that people get a lot, so I'm pretty sure they heard it plenty of times, but basically you have to work on your own truck. You have to work on your own truck and like really to be able to save money, you're gonna have to turn a wrench because if you're giving all your money out to the shops and that, I mean, if you can find a good decent mechanic that do fair rate, then yeah, I say you'll be fine. But you still gonna want to do like the small, like you're not gonna want to give out the money on every little small thing. Like you're not gonna want to pay them. You should not be paying a mechanic to change batteries, the you know what I'm saying, small stuff like an alternator, all that small stuff. Small stuff, it's minor, small stuff you need to be doing yourself that don't take long. I in my opinion. And if it's like major work or something big, then yeah, you pay your mechanic to do that. But you definitely need to get your own mechanic because going to a dealer for who make your truck, that you're not gonna survive. Not the one truck, man. You're not gonna survive taking your truck to the dealers, the Freightliner dealers, the Peterbilt dealers. None of them dealerships. You're not survive that going to the dealership for every little issue you have because their labor rates is just too high. They not meant for the one truck, man. That's more so for them big company fleets. And even with them, you notice every trucking company out here got their own shop. Why? Because that's the main way to stay in business. You're gonna have to have low costs on low labor rate on working on your equipment. Because you got to keep as much money in house as possible. So third, I would say you definitely need to learn everything about your equipment. Like you definitely got to do the research on how your motor acts, what type of issues your motors have, your type of issues that come with your truck. Like you're gonna need to be studying your equipment. You can't just have a truck and not know nothing about it. And the main thing is knowing the engine, because for the most part, all these trucks, that's not really what make or break your you know what I'm saying, your truck. Is really what type of engine you have in it and stuff like that. Is those type of components that decide whether you have a good truck or a bad truck. It's the engine. It's not the body of the truck. That don't really have nothing to do with that. So I say insurance. You need to turn some wrenches, and you need to learn your equipment. I'm trying to think, is there anything else? I mean, it's a lot of things, but like I said, I'm trying to name like the main biggest things. Oh, this was one of the points also. I don't recommend you getting your own authority if you don't, one, have an inside man or connect or know somebody that's going to be helping you get loads. Like, if you just going strictly off the load board, you're gonna have to have low overhead to be able to survive, because the low boards, it have its highs and then have its lows. But if you look at the money you made throughout the whole year, it's, you know what I'm saying? Because the whole goal is to have consistent money. So that's why it's always best to have a contract or somebody that, a broker, you know, or somebody that help you get loads, that, you know what I'm saying, they getting you loads every week, like a job basically. Like, you know what you're doing every week. Because if you just, when you just booking loads and you doing with the highs and lows, because the market going like this, spot market going up and down. So like by the time the end of the year, if you got high insurance and all that stuff, because it's gonna be hard to have all that stuff low, especially when you're a new venture. So when you starting out, you got all this high overhead and high risk because you don't really know too much about your truck. You're still learning on the fly. You want to have consistent loads. You don't want to have 1 minute is up, 1 minute is down, because it'll really hurt you. You want to have that consistent. I say for example, if you have a load that's, you on the spot market, the load board, you getting a load that's like $2,000 right now, and then when it's slow, you getting it for $1,200 the other half of the year. You know what I'm saying? That's going, you know, I say that's average out to, like, just off the top of my head, say average out to like $1,500, $1,600 throughout the whole year, versus a person that maybe was getting a load for $1,800 the whole year. They're gonna come out better than the person who he thought he was doing something, getting it for $2,000 at that point he was getting it, but then when that joint dropped down to $1,200, $1,400, the person who was making $1,800 consistently the whole year gonna win at the end of the year. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about consistency, and it's a numbers game basically. Like I said, you definitely want to have consistent loads. So I don't really recommend nobody getting the authority unless you have someone or know someone that at least you know who your customer's gonna be basically. Because if you just driving all around, just booking loads and stuff like that, you're gonna have to have real low overhead to be able to survive that. Like, but for the man who got a whole family, got kids and stuff, that would be hard to manage. Just, you know what I'm saying, spot market. And especially you don't really know what you're doing for your first time having your authority. So I recommend, while you company, like I recommend you get your truck. If you could try to pay, get a low cost truck, either pay it off or have a low note. And then when you get the truck, either lease on to somebody or just let it sit and just be network and try to find somebody who you could pull loads for. You know what I'm saying? Just try to network until you open the authority part of it. I don't recommend you taking on all that overhead until you know who your customer's gonna be and you know who you pulling for. Cause that's all it is having customers. That's all it's all about. So yeah, I said that was my 3 to 4 major things I learned in my my first full year having my authority. So things to learn from and putting out there just so I can help the next man. So I'll holler at y'all on the next video, man.